Welcome, everyone, and happy PlatformCon Day.
And welcome to our session from Cloud Cost to FinOps. In the next 15 minutes, we'll be walking you through what our business does, what our team does, and what is our use case for FinOps, as well as the journey we embark to get there. We'll then finish it off with the impact this had on our business. Hello, I'm Suraj Narvade, Senior Infrastructure Engineer at RVU.
And hello, I'm Georgia, a lead engineer at RVU. RVU is a UK based group, part of Red Ventures, of online brands that work to empower consumers by helping them compare home services like your energy and broadband provider, insurance for your car or for your home, and other financial products like mortgages and credit cards. We have a list of different brands: usage.com, confused.com, money.co.uk, Mojo, and Tempcover.
And now let us introduce Georgia and my team. Name of our team is Airship. You can think of us like a snazzier cloud platform team, the cute red panda as our mascot. We primarily focus on just the London based brands like uswitch.com and money.co.uk. We enable our engineers to deliver services quickly, reliably, and securely. We manage platform infrastructure. We provide tools and solutions for all of our teams. We operate on Kubernetes clusters and on AWS.
And now that our team and brand are a bit clearer, let us walk you through our business case. Firstly, we wanted to simplify our stack and ownership model. We have grown so much as a business, acquired multiple brands, and saw our teams changing as a result. Our stack got progressively more complex, as well as some part of it becoming obsolete or with no defined owners. The second business case we're trying to address was around market conditions. Challenges in the market conditions for one of our brands and in general meant a slightly change of priorities, and we started evaluating how to better utilize our cloud resources and if there was anything we could do to reduce wastage from a financial perspective. Even though this was not a primary objective, our view as a business has a net zero goal by 2024. As such, we also looked at our cloud usage to understand what we could do to improve on this front. Previously, we were more focused on cloud cost. The Airship team had already explored a cost dashboard capability in the past, but it did not yield many results. And that was mostly because all of the cloud cost responsibility was falling onto our team rather than be shared across all of the product and engineering teams. So now we will walk you through our journey from our previous cloud ops model to a model that promotes shared responsibility for an organization's cloud computing infrastructure and costs, also known as the FinOps model.
We understood that writing down our goals was going to be essential for this next attempt to succeed. We wanted a capability that would empower engineers, head of departments, and the finance team to easily track and attribute brand cost as well as the platform cost so we could share that responsibility across. We wanted a capability that would easily accessible and actionable. We wanted a capability that would provide both fine-grained and long-term data availability. It should be self-served as everyone should be able to use the platform and make the decision and actions of the back of that without depending on our team.
Once the business goals were clear, we started assessing the problem from a more technical point of view. Should we build our own solution? Should we implement an open source project or should we rely on an enterprise solution? Will one solution really satisfy all our requirements or do we need more than one solution? Do we have anything we need from a data perspective? And also, how much time do we have? Actually, we didn't have much time, just 6 weeks top.
Once the technical assessment was done, we noticed that one of the major detractors to meet one of our goal was the lack of tags for our AWS resources and labels for our Kubernetes resources. This is important because it was the only way we could easily attribute an application and its resources and their cost to the correct team all the way through the correct brand. So we got to label and tag all the things, starting from the resources that together would make up around 85% of our bill, which is Kubernetes and RDS databases. As we could not have ambition to tag everything under the sun in less than 6 weeks. Once mostly everything was tagged and labeled, we moved on to the next step or technical assessment process. In this process, we had various proof of concepts and we came up with this architectural diagram to best cater for all our user personas. Firstly, the platform operator, which is us, we choose the open source version of Kubecost as a way to gather information for cluster cost and out of cluster cost. Our second persona was engineering tech leads who will get fine grained information for cost and utilization on a weekly basis. But this was not enough to satisfy all the requirement of other personas like our head of department and the finance team. For them, the information presented was too fine grained and too technical. They needed something which is on quarter by quarter basis that could identify the spend at a brand level and ideally stored in a big query. So we decided to extend the solution and leverage Argo Workflows in order to export a simplified version of data for long-term storage in BigQuery and provide a view of the whole business which they can easily access via Looker Studio.
And just like that, in 4 weeks, we came up with a solution. We left 1 week over the Christmas period in order to gather enough data, and the MVP was out the first week after the Christmas holiday. As mentioned previously, we use Kubernetes clusters as a platform for our application. In the first month after the launch of the MVP, the size of our cluster decreased by 33%. Not magically or automatically, but because our teams had a very clear and actionable benchmark to understand how to better utilize their resources. And ultimately, a smaller cluster meant a smaller bill.
As overall cluster size went down, cost for our compute resources also went down by 15.4%.
Moreover, our idle cost across our clusters went down by 20%. In case you're not aware of what idle cost is, cloud idle cost refers to the expense incurred for keeping cloud resources active but not being utilized. Reducing wastage is one of the main factors for improving as well on the emissions of your platform.
By building something easily actionable and self serve, we had improved the visibility on our entire platform estate for any further improvement. We reduced and keep reducing our cloud spend by a projected 40% year on year.
And as a result, we have a much more efficient platform going forward, and we reduced our cloud and compute wastage, putting us on the right track for net zero. We would like to leave you with just a final word. This should not be a one off exercise. We had a business need that forced us into looking at our cloud spend, but we did not just stop there.
By investing on a self serve platform capability, you can really enable your engineering team to own every aspect of application, including underlying cost. Thank you.
Thank you.